Hi, friends. Welcome to another episode of Freedom Talks. I am Debbie Lichter, founder of the Congruence Code and Freedom Embodied Live. And today we are talking about the secret of having healthy, authentic relationships. So this has been a conversation that we've been in for a little over a week. And at Freedom Embodied Live last week, we definitely dove into some really, really vulnerable aspects of having healthy, authentic relationships. And we started out the whole event asking the question, who here has ever felt unsafe or like they can't trust other women? And every single hand went up in the entire room. And it was really powerful to witness that and to see that and to really open up the conversation for how do we do life together? How do we move into deeper, more meaningful, more authentic relating with each other? And, we're talking about today how that looks for you in romantic relationships. We're talking about how that looks for you in friendships, how that looks for you in family, how that looks for you at work, how that looks for you with your own relationship with yourself and your body. We are in relationship with everything. And so the first thing that I would love to know for those of you who are tuning in right now, hi, Julie, is what area of your life is it other women? Is it friendships? Is it romantic relationships? Is it work? Is it family? Is it with yourself and your body? What area of your life, just in a word, is the area that you are really looking for the biggest breakthrough when it comes to healthy, authentic relating? If you're anything like me, then you would just write like D, all of the above. Because I feel like for me personally, this topic, I felt like I was different people in every area of my life. There were some people who I was really comfortable with, and then there were some people who I was trying to prove myself around, and some people who I just felt super uncomfortable around, and some people that I was trying to people please and impress. And, there was people who I thought were judging me, and so I was like really up in my head about it. I was like all these different people, and so whatever situation I was in, I was a different person in the situation. And I speak with a lot of really smart women who are on a spiritual path, who've done lots of inner work, who feel the same way. And so what we're going to be talking about today, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 keys from the Congruence Code, which is the process that I take my clients through in the Freedom Embodied Academy. We're going to be talking about that in a few moments. And I'm also going to be, make sure you stick around to the end, I'm also going to be giving you a bonus tip that will up-level all of your relationships, even including your relationship with yourself. So definitely stick around for the end. All right, yes. Myself first and then all the rest. Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure that you are speaking for many, many people who are tuning in right now to that very thing. I mean, we can all probably relate to all of it. So what I would really love to just, hear from you, or I'd really love for you to just start to think about for yourself is, how does that struggle show up for you? Do you struggle with speaking up to family members, or being authentic with family members, or speaking up at work? Do you find that you get into meetings or you get around other people of authority and all of a sudden you shut down? Do you find that you play games in relationships that even though you want to be fully authentic, you feel like you have to kind of play this game and be kind of unavailable because they're being a certain way and you don't want to be too much, or you don't want to be not enough, or you don't want to be needy, and so you kind of are like not really being you in relationships? Or if your feelings are hurt, you're telling yourself you are just being too sensitive, you're stuffing them down, you're compartmentalizing that stuff so you can do the rest of your life. Like, where are you in your romantic relationships? And, where are you in friendships? Maybe there's some friendships that you have where you are overgiving, or you're people pleasing, or you feel like you're the one that's always being there for a friend and they're actually not really being a really good friend to you. Maybe they complain, or they unload on you a whole bunch, or they just kind of contact you when they're available, but they're not actually really there for you or really interested in what's going on with you, and you're just sort of putting up with it. So these are all some of the things that I hear from women all the time, women and men really, but I mean, I have a tendency to speak a lot with women, and I hear all of these dynamics playing out. And what I want to speak into, hey Stephanie, so good to see you. What I want to speak into right now is what I see as being the thing that is getting in the way for us and blocking us from having those healthy, authentic relationships. And it's something that I call incongruence. So incongruence, so let me just say this. Congruence is when your head and your heart and your gut are all in alignment. They're on the same page. They are connected. You feel something at a gut level. You take action on it. You feel something in your heart. You're like, I'm going to go for that. You don't have those negative beliefs that are sabotaging you. Like you are acting in alignment with inside of yourself, with inside of your deepest, highest truth. And because of that, you are authentic between you and the world around you. And when you are living congruently, you have a sense of ease and comfort inside of you. You can relax, you can take it easy. You're not thinking all the time or trying to think 5 steps ahead or trying to control everything or manage everything or making sure everybody likes you, because you just feel at ease and connected and just okay being you. So that is the experience of being congruent. That is the experience of being authentic, of being aligned. And what's so beautiful about being in that place is that then you just naturally share yourself. You just naturally shine your light. It just beams forth from you, from the very nature of how you are being and who you are being. You don't have to try. You just get to be that very vibration of light. It's beautiful. So let's now talk about what incongruence is. So incongruence is when your head, heart, and gut are not in alignment. Your head is actually separated from your body, and your head is off in a lot of limiting beliefs, a lot of patterns, a lot of fears, a lot of insecurities, and it's actually just completely severed and cut off from the rest of you. And when that happens, you cut off from the fullness of who you are, you cut off from the fullness and the full range of your emotions, from your gut truth, and you start to second guess yourself. You start to doubt yourself, second guess yourself, and then when we're living up here, we tend to be in that fear of judgment or judging ourselves or judging others, or anxiety, shallow breath, which can create lots of tension in our bodies, chronic pain. This is all the stuff that can start to happen when we are in that disconnect. And so some of the ways that incongruence can show up, hey Jenna, so glad that you're here. One of the ways that incongruence can show up is like, let's say you get a gut instinct that you want to do something. Like, I want to put myself out there. But then your head says, no, they're going to judge you. You're not going to have anything to say. You're not ready yet. You need to go and just, just play it safe right now. Don't put yourself out there. You're going to look stupid. People aren't going to like you. And so you just you hold back. Or you really want to speak up and say something. Maybe it's at work. You really want to express yourself. You really want to say something in a meeting. But then this thought is like, nope, it's going to come out wrong. They're not going to get you. You're going to have to explain yourself. It's just not worth it. Just swallow it down, play subordinate. Like, it's just not your place, and you can have this whole mental dialogue around that. Or let's say that your heart wants to just connect. All you want to do is connect. But your head says, you're going to get rejected. You're going to get rejected. And so just, be guarded. Like, put yourself out there, but then be guarded. Have one foot in and one foot out so you don't ever get taken advantage of. You don't ever look stupid. You don't ever, go all in. And then it's like, once bitten, twice shy. Or sometimes our head will say, he's not right for you. Or our gut will say, he's not right for you. Or she's not right for you. Or this friendship's not right for you. Or this job's not right for you. But then we have this deep fear that's like, yeah, but it's comfortable. Yeah, but I don't like confrontation. Yeah, but what if I'm alone? I don't want to be alone. I'd rather be in this. Well, what if I don't make any money? What's around the corner? I don't know. And we start to negotiate our lives in an incongruent way. And what happens when we are living incongruently is it creates this discomfort and dis-ease inside of us. So now we're managing this discomfort and dis-ease inside of us. We've got these incongruent patterns happening. And all of a sudden now we are not operating from the fullness of the truth that we know that we are. And so this is where I speak with so many women. They're like, I have spiritual beliefs. I know that, like, in theory, I know that I'm protected and guided and loved. I know that I'm getting everything that I need. I know that there is this higher power, or God, or the universe, or source, or spirit, or Mama Gaia, or whatever you call it. I know that there's this thing, but it's just not working in my life, or I'm just not feeling it, or I'm just not trusting it right now because it's not showing up for me. And that's where I say, yeah, because with incongruence, it's like knowing that the universe is gifting and guiding you all the time, but then when you're incongruent, you're playing energetic pinball with all that stuff. You just can't receive it and absorb it. So imagine now, instead of having like a congruence where you're all connected into the truth of who you are, you're having that authentic confidence, you're feeling your worth, you're able to speak up, you're able to honor your truth, all of these things. Instead of having all of that going on, now you're judging yourself, you're in sabotage patterns, you're full of doubt, you've got resentment weighing heavy on you, you're not speaking up, you've got limiting beliefs happening all over the place. Now imagine taking that into relationship or relating. And, you know, it's next to impossible. When you're taking all of that stuff, it's next to impossible to have healthy, authentic relationships, because there's so much stickiness going on inside. Now, if I don't feel my worth, if I'm second guessing myself, if I feel like I'm wrong, then I'm going to be looking to the world to give me a sense of worth, to give me a sense of validation, to give me a sense of you're okay and I like you, to help me to feel loved, to give me a sense of identity, to give me a sense of belonging. If I have a fear of being rejected and that's really what's weighing on me, then it doesn't matter how much my heart wants to open. It doesn't matter what a big heart I have, because I'm projecting that into the world. And so now I'm looking for opportunities where people aren't going to reject me, or more likely, I'm attracting the vibration of people in the world who will reject me. And then I get to believe my own story. And so this is what we do. We go into the world unknowingly, unwittingly, with the best intentions, putting ourselves out there, but with all the junk that's going on inside of us. And now the other people in our life are the role that we have assigned them now is they need to get us, they need to understand us, they need to like us, they need to validate us. And if they don't do those things, then it just further reinforces all of the negative patterns that are happening inside of ourselves. And it makes us feel even worse about ourselves. We go into even more lack of worth and lack of doubt, and doubt. And then that just makes us even more incongruent. And so this is where I meet so many folks. And if you are in any of this, I want to let you know that, like, you are not wrong, bad, getting it wrong, broken, you know, never going to get this. Like, it's none of that. Just like set all that stuff aside of, you know, I should be able to know this. I've done so much inner work, and set all that stuff aside, because that's actually just part of all the incongruent patterns, is you making yourself wrong for what is happening in the moment. The truth is, what's happening in the moment is what's happening in the moment. It's not right or wrong, it's an experience. And so what I want to share with you are 3 keys from the Congruence Code, and this is the vehicle that I guide women through in the Freedom Embodied Academy. And I'm happy to, at the end of this call, to share a little bit more about Freedom Embodied Academy. We have 3 more spots left for our enrollment this year, and I'll share with you more about that. But I want to share with you 3 keys from the Congruence Code right now that can help you just really start to get into healthier, more authentic relationships. So the first key here is to get grounded. So this might sound like, wait, what? I'm talking about relationships, and how is this related and anything like that? But it is remarkable. So here's the thing I spoke about earlier, about how incongruence is like your head, your heart, and your gut are not in alignment. Your head is disconnected from your body, and you're walking around kind of like this floating head with this like meat suit, and like not really embodied. Okay. So when you get grounded, and that means like getting your awareness down into the soles of your feet, getting your awareness down into your tailbone, into your legs, feeling the earth beneath your feet, even if you're on, you know, cement, or even if you were on the 2nd or 14th floor of your building. It doesn't matter. You can energetically feel the earth beneath your feet and just breathe. Breathe and receive. So this is so, so important, is for you to start to connect, to root and to resource into the nurturance of Mother Earth, to ground yourself, to get out of your head and to land and plant yourself where you are. And if you're doing this with me right now, and you can just feel the soles of your feet, and you can imagine yourself even bringing your awareness 10 feet deeper into the earth. And then from that place, inhaling into the earth, and then exhaling and just drawing and drinking in all of that rich nutrients, all of that support, all of that connection, all of that protection, and letting that come all the way up through your body and letting yourself just land and ground in that. It is so powerful. This is part of, I'm describing part of a whole practice that I teach my clients when they are in the Freedom Embodied system, because this is like, it's foundational. It's absolutely foundational. It's part of a daily system that they do to just reconnect, to resource, and to realize that you're not alone. So that is great, big, huge, really, really important, because when you get that deeper feeling of I'm not alone, I'm connected, and I'm grounded, and I'm standing on my own 2 feet, and I feel empowered inside of myself, it starts to create this experience of feeling safe inside of yourself, feeling like you're having what you need inside of yourself. And that allows you to relate with others, not from a place of lack or of what can I get from you, but from a place of I am resourced, I am centered in my side of myself. And now when I relate with you, I'm relating with you from a really grounded, connected place inside of myself. And it's completely different orientation. So grounding, the physiology, getting your physiology to be in a calmer, more present state is so, so powerful when it comes to authentic relating and authentic relationships. So number 2 is to, oh my gosh, set aside your story. Your story about who you are, about how it is, about how others are, about what you need, about what is possible. I was speaking with a woman a couple weeks ago, and she's like, oh my God, it's impossible. The whole dating scene in San Diego is just absolutely impossible. I just can't find, a partner here. It's just, I don't like the men here. And I used to have that story. I totally get that story. But that's a story, right? That's a story. Or, I just don't have time for this. Or I just never feel like I'm enough. We assign these stories to ourselves, and then they become like our identity. We actually form our character, like we're this character in a storybook, and we're going along in the story of our lives, and we're like, this is the thing, these are the things that I do, these are the things that I'm about, this is what's okay for me to do, this is within the realm of what I don't do, this is how others respond to me, this is what's expected. This is how others are going to be around me. This is what I have to do around others. We have an entire anthology of how we think it is. And then we have all of our past relationships, all of our past conditioning, how it's been in the past, all this stuff. And so when we come into relationships, we are bringing all of our story, we're bringing all of our baggage, we're bringing all of our conditioning, all of our attachments, all of our ideas about what we think we need. We're bringing all of that into relationship. And, how are we going to have authentic relating? If we're like, I'm not really seeing you, I'm actually just seeing all the patterns that are running inside of me, and I'm starting to look inside of you to try and see, are you going to trigger any of those patterns? And if you are, I'm going to go into my trigger response. We're kind of like responding to people from that place. And so the biggest gift that we can give others and ourselves is to set that aside. Because here's the thing, is that you cannot have a new experience if you keep on writing the script of how your story goes. If you keep on telling God, this is how my story goes. This is my character. This is the role that I've assigned myself. This is the role that I've assigned others. This is the role that I've assigned my life. And this is what I know that I need. Then there's no space for any new experience to get in there. So if you are coming to this conversation, if you're coming to this day wanting a new experience around having healthier, authentic relationships, then I really, really invite you to lean into this one and consider setting aside what you think you know, opening yourself up for a new experience. This is a part of a practice that I do with my clients that I refer to. It's like there's a whole collection of practices like this that I call prayer alchemy, because there's something that is so powerful when we use the power of prayer to actually alchemize a shift within inside of ourselves and have an entirely new experience. So this is a really, really big one. It's something that I use every single day, every single moment. I had someone ask me yesterday, well, do I say that daily? I'm like, I say that momently. So whatever works for you. But really, really, you know, setting aside your stories to be open for a new experience. So, so powerful. And the last one here, the last but not least, is to stop self-betraying. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So let's talk about this one. So what is self-betraying? So self-betraying is any time you have a gut feeling about something, or you have an emotion about something, any authentic experience happening inside of yourself, and then you do something different. You say something different, you act differently, you make yourself wrong, you go against what you know you're really needing or wanting inside. It's like you have this inner experience, and then that doesn't match up with how you're acting out there. And anytime we're self-betraying, it is a recipe for resentment and for disconnect, for us being up in our head and being in that perpetual cycle of, I feel like I'm wrong, or I'm feeling guilty, or I don't feel enough, or I feel like I'm too much, and so I feel like I'm not allowed to have the authentic experience that I'm having. Somehow we make ourselves wrong for the authentic experience that we're having. And then in that wrongness for the authentic experience that we're having, now all of a sudden we put ourselves out there in a way that is inauthentic. Now all of a sudden, I'm not going to share with you what's really going on. I'm just going to put on a happy face because I don't want you to know all the melancholy happening inside of here. Or, you know, I feel guilty. I feel so, so guilty. So I'm going to continue to do this thing that doesn't really feel that good. I feel like I don't want to be in this job anymore, in this relationship anymore, in this conversation anymore, but I'm feeling so guilty that I'm just staying in it, even though my internal system is like getting tense because I know that it's not in full alignment. These are the ways that we self-betray. These are the ways that we hemorrhage power. So again, imagine, you've got a spiritual practice, that's all great. Imagine sitting daily in your spiritual practice, channeling guidance and support, having that come through you, and then imagine just like your gut is just like spilling open, and so it just pours out and just hemorrhages right out of you, and you can't keep it, you can't contain it, it doesn't stay inside of you, or you're just over giving all the time, or you have those kind of weak or sticky boundaries where it's just like it just doesn't, it's not healthy for you. And so stopping the self-betrayal is so, so big, because let's just talk about this for a second. If you self-betray, that's happening at your gut, okay? Then that's going to eventually, if it hasn't already, it's going to eventually create some deep-seated resentment. And the biggest resentment that you're going to have is the resentment against yourself. It's going to feel like initially that you're blaming others, but then the deepest, downest thing is that you are mad at yourself for self-betraying. And there is no worse resentment than when you're mad at yourself because you know you didn't listen to what you knew you needed to do. And you're mad at yourself for it because now you're tired, now you've lost money, now you've lost time, now you've lost face, now whatever the thing is. And we all know that experience where you're like, gosh darn it, so mad that I didn't listen to myself on that. So, and if you relate to that, then just put in the comments, just put self-betrayal in the comments if you relate to having had that before, having had that experience of self-betrayal. I know that I have. And what it does is it creates this deep-seated resentment. It also creates this, or it comes from this place of I'm wrong. So imagine you've got I'm wrong inside of you. I'm wrong, I'm not enough, one of those variations. And then you've got this resentment And all of that weighs really heavy on you. There is absolutely when it weighs heavy on you, and it's like weighing heavy on your heart, you can't authentically speak up because you're all blocked up inside. And so you want to speak up, but instead of speaking up authentically, instead of voicing up authentically, what ends up happening is that you speak your mind. It comes down from the top out. When you speak your mind, you're not speaking from a congruent place within inside of yourself. You're not speaking from that highest, truest place inside of yourself. You're speaking from your fears. You're speaking from your insecurities. You're speaking from your judgments. And that's what will project into the world. So sometimes, and I know this is no one listening to the call, I know it's only me that's ever done this, where you're like, I am going to speak my mind. I'm going to tell that person what I think. And then you talk to them, but you talk to them in a way that doesn't create closeness. It creates more tension. It creates more strife, creates more defensiveness, because we were speaking our mind. We weren't speaking from the depth and the core and the truth of who we are. And so ultimately, if you really want healthy, authentic relationships, you want to get free of the things that are blocking you and weighing heavy on you. So once you stop self-betraying and you can get free of the things that are blocking you and weighing heavy on you, then you're an open channel to come back into the truth of who you are, to come back into that inner alignment. And from that authentic place, then you're able to authentically connect with others. That is how the system works. So I hope that you stayed with me for all of that. I do have a couple of things that I want to share with you, and I have a bonus tip that I want to share with you as well that is going to absolutely catapult every single one of your relationships to the next level, and it just is a gift that keeps on giving. So I want to share that in a moment. And I want to just speak really quickly about Freedom Embodied Academy. We have 3 spots left. It is so exciting to go on this year-long journey with a group of women who are on this path already. And this program is really the system, the proven system, to unleashing the confidence to authentically shine your light. And what is going to be what you're going to experience after a year of being in this program is freedom from all the addictions that are holding you back, freedom from the sabotage patterns, the ability to trust yourself to make healthy choices in every area of your life. You're going to have that authentic ability to speak up, to stop people pleasing, to stop saying yes when you mean no, to be a magnet for love and for authentic relationships, to be a magnet for opportunities, for abundance to come your way, to really bust through those limiting beliefs that have been holding you back so that you can have the confidence to put yourself out there. And here's what I love so much is that this is truly the system for learning how to go through life with a sense of ease and enjoyment instead of that constant struggle, that constant efforting, and that constant exhaustion. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in, please private message me or just write Freedom Embodied Academy in the notes here today, in the comments today, and I will have my team reach out to you. And I'm so excited for that. We're getting started in a couple weeks and we are almost full. Again, we have 3 spots left. And I know that the women who have that deep in their hearts, who know that this is the opportunity for them of a lifetime, I know they will step forward and raise their hand. So, but I want to leave you with this incredible gift. Okay, well, I think it's an incredible gift. It's been a gift that's kept on giving to me in my life over and over again, and it's something that I was sharing at the Freedom Embodied Live event a couple times this weekend. And this is to get around people who you can practice doing human with. Practice doing human. Here is the thing, is that with everything that I shared, with everything that we're talking about, with everything that you know to be true inside of your life, we're not going to get this right. We're not supposed to get this perfectly. We are supposed to practice doing human together. It was so beautiful. There was a woman at the Freedom Embodied Live event this past weekend, and she stood up and she's like, look, I have a story right now in my head that you all are judging me and that I don't belong and that I shouldn't be here and that I'm not enough. And even though I know, she's saying, even though I know that you're all beaming light at me and beaming love at me, this is the story I'm creating inside my head. And I just said to her, thank you. Thank you for practicing doing human with us. Thank you for honoring us with your truth. We don't have to fix that inside of her. We don't have to fix that inside of each other. In fact, she just wanted a space to be seen and heard for her experience. And so instead of thinking that we have to already have it figured out before we go and speak to someone, what is actually going to create more closeness, authenticity, and connection is when we can come to someone when we are in the process of our experience. So that might look like, hey, honey, you know, you said this thing and I realized that this is what I did with it inside. And I really want to understand more about what you mean by that, because I just like created this whole long story. And I want to, you know, I want to know what you meant by that. It's a totally different way of operating where you're not making the other person wrong. You're just letting them know where you're at. Or like, you know, I've said it with family members in the past, like, okay, I really, really want to like time out right here. I really like, this is where we usually get into our thing. And I really don't want to go there with you. So can we like practice like being awkward and trying something different today? And it's amazing how when we approach people and life like that, they will meet us in that because they want to practice doing human too and nobody knows how. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, can we practice the awkwardness right now? I've had it with clients in the past who have struggles, you know, trusting women, and they kind of get to like the boiling point of their feeling of like, you know, projection onto me. And I say, okay, perfect, time out. This is perfect because this is a microcosm of what happens in your life. So let's do this. We're in a safe space and I love you. And I'm not taking on whatever you're pushing at me. So you're safe to push at me, whatever you need to push at me. And I'm going to hold you in love. And let's work through this. Let's work through this because this is an opportunity for a breakthrough for you. And I want you to have that because on the other side of that is a more authentic, congruent version of you that gets to flow through life with more ease and comfort and enjoyment. So, wow, we covered a lot today. I hope that there were some nuggets in there for you. This is definitely the kind of training to listen to again and again. And of course, if you feel resonant with Freedom Embodied Academy, I know a couple of the people who joined today are already a part of it, and I'm so honored to dive in deeper with you into all of this. If you're feeling that deep call, again, just private message me or just make a comment, Freedom Embodied Academy, and my team will reach out to you and get you on a call with me so that we can see if it's a right fit for you. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to connecting with you more next time. Bye for now. Mwah.